for pre-need funerals, burials, and cremation since 1975. It's Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Funeral service for Zirian Hampton will be 1 o'clock Saturday at Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation is Friday from 1 until 7 at the funeral home, Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga, in charge of the arrangements. Latina Harville died this morning at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Curtis and Son Funeral Home will announce the arrangements. And of course, Tina was the wife of Brother James Harville, and our hearts are saddened at the loss of Tina, but know where she is this morning, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Harville family. And Mr. Robert Ferguson, Curtis and Son Funeral Home will announce the funeral arrangements there. Latina Harville as well, funeral arrangements to be announced by Curtis and Son Funeral Home. And funeral service for Glenda Dunlap. Graveside service for Glenda Dunlap will be on Monday at 11 a.m. at Evergreen Cemetery in Sylacauga. Curtis and Son Funeral Home directing. John Culver Harmon, age 79, of Munford, passed away, and there will be a funeral service at 2 o'clock on Friday at Miller Funeral Home Chapel in Oxford. Pastor John Harris officiating, along with Pastor John Hayes and Brother John Trickett. The family will receive friends 1 until 2 at the funeral home on Friday. Miller Funeral Home in Oxford directing. Barbara McDonald Hurst, age 68, died July 19th. Funeral service at 11 o'clock today at Ursery Funeral Home Chapel in Talladega with Dr. Catherine Brian Lawrence officiating. Interment in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. Visitation for friends and extended family is prior to the service today, 9 until 11 o'clock at the funeral home. Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega directing. Homegoing celebration remembering the life of Miss Mary E. Reeves, age 83, is today at 11 a.m. from S.M. Goodson Funeral Home Chapel with Reverend Ronnie White officiating. S.M. Goodson Funeral Home and Crematory in Talladega in charge of the arrangements. And funeral service for Walter Pete Salters, age 92 of Sylacauga, is today at 11 a.m. from Radley Smith Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga. Burial in the Highlands Cemetery. Mr. Salters died on Monday at his residence. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga in charge of the arrangements. Mr. Willard Bubba Thornton, age 70 of Alexander City, died July 17th at his residence. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City in charge of the arrangements. And memorial service for Mr. Gary Jennings will be 11 o'clock Saturday at Armour's Memorial Chapel in Alexander City. Funeral final arrangements entrusted to Armour's Memorial Funeral Home of Alexander City. This obituary report this morning brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, and cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home